Goblin Works Garage is crossing the Atlantic to crack one of the biggest custom car markets in the world.
God love America.
With our most challenging build ever.
This thing looks terrible.
This is our van.
Transforming an ancient VW camper
It looks like someone set it on fire.
into a custom drag bus.
Battery?
That's not funny.
To race and sell in Las Vegas. It's a build that could make us or break us.
It is a nightmare.
In the USA.
If it all goes wrong, it's just an epic fail.
This was not the American dream I had in mind.
No.
I'm properly excited about going to San Diego. This is a milestone for Goblin Works Garage. In America, there is a massive custom scene. We see it as a great place to expand our business. Let's call Anne, see if he's got anywhere with finding us a bus.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going down?
We're on our way to the airport.
Well, have fun.
Aw, don't be like that. Listen, have your contacts in the States got us a VW bus yet?
Don't forget, we've got a 30k max spend on this, and you need to line up. A roll cage, a race interior, someone to paint it. We need everything possible to turn this bus around.
Don't worry, I'm on it. I just can't believe you guys are going without me. Then again, Ducati really want me at this important bike event, and so it's good for us to be there, and hopefully it can drum up some business for us. I've decided to stay in England and not go to California with the guys. Any opportunity I get to keep Ducati happy is a good opportunity for Goblin. By the time you guys land in the States, I will have everything sorted.
Whatever.
So while Ant stays in Britain to represent his client at the famous Mali Mile bike event, Jimmy and I are giving ourselves just 7 days in America and a $30,000 budget to buy and customise a VW bus. We want to build it in Southern California, drive it to Los Angeles for a makeover, then on to Nevada to drag race it at the legendary Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where there's a lucrative custom scene.
Some of the top custom cars in the world come out of America. And that's why we're here. We want to get the Goblin name out there in America.
To maximise our profit, we have to buy low. So whatever VW bus Ant's found for us here in San Diego, we need to drive a hard bargain.
Cheers, man.
Should we ring Partridge and see what the crack is?
Come on then.
Right.
Yo, I found us a T2. $6,000, and it's got no motor in it.
You're not selling it, really?
No, that's not sounding good.
We're gonna change the motor anyways, right? So why spend money on a motor we don't need? Go in there and ask for a guy named Caesar. Go get her done.
This better be worth coming all that way for. Oh, man. That piggy in the middle there, that stinks of partridge.
And what makes it worse is the really pristine buses either side of it. Yeah. It's like a thorn between two roses rather than the other way around.
It is fugly, man.
Looking at this bus, I am absolutely terrified. Any rust under it?
You know what? It's solid under here. Real solid.
Well, that's good news.
Vehicles like this old bus, they have standard places they rot out. So the first thing you do is get in there and have a look and see if that rust exists. Floor's looking good, Hills.
Yeah, it looks like someone set it on fire, but it is solid.
Usually also, I'll be checking the engine and the running gear. But this bus doesn't have any, so it's all about the metal.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey man, come on then, talk us through it.
Well, it's a 1968. It's actually in pretty decent shape for the year.
It is? I mean, it's a shed on wheels, Caesar, I want to be honest with you. It's a shed on wheels.
But hey, the price.
Yeah, the price is high. We've got to come down someone 6.
The least I could take is 5,000.
4,800, we've got cash monies and it's off your lot today.
got yourself a deal.
You're a good man.
Let's sign some paperwork.
Good man.
Cosmetically, this bus is an absolute dog, but for what we need, it's good enough, and it's kind of our only option.
Scratch it, you pay for it.
Our camper van is currently just a shell.
Bye, Caesar, thank you.
So we've sorted a trailer and we're on a mission to source an engine.
I've just had a message from Partridge and he says he's got a lead for us. The guy who can help us put a Subaru engine in our bus.
That's exactly what we need, Hills.
Yeah.
The original engine, 57 horsepower, it was a flat 4 boxer engine. Those cylinders out to the side. Now, Subaru engine, flat 4 boxer engine, just the same. So essentially, one fits where the other one fits. However, the Super engine has awesome power, and that's the kind of power that bus is going to need.
When this VW T2 was built, its cutesy rounded front end and split windscreen made it a 60s icon. But we've only got 7 days and 30 grand to turn this hippie relic into a Goblin-style drag bus. With only 48 hours to nail all the mechanical work, we need to be sure this engine will give us the power to impress on the strip.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You, David?
Hey.
Yes, sir.
What kind of performance can you get from a Subaru engine to put in there?
So our standard 165 horsepower, that's 17.5.
$17,500 for 160 horsepower. I'm a little bit underwhelmed. This van, it's got to put a wicked speed in down a drag strip.
We could step it up, add some forged internals and a turbo and get 250 brake horse. That's 21,000 total.
$21,000, that's just over £16,000. There's a lot of money to be spending in one place.
I mean, Hells, before you get on the money thing, this is what we need to turn heads in that van. 250 horsepower in an old VW bus. With that thing fitted, I'm hoping we'll be able to set a 16-second time on the drag strip.
We've got 2 days.
Is that even possible?
2 days is tough.
But we can help you.
We've got our own shop in the UK. This is what we do.
If we work hard, we can do 2 days for sure. Hey,
You're on, man.
awesome.
We have been in California for 1 day and we have managed to spend just under £20,000, so it better pay off.
We have got a whole heap of building to do in literally no time at all.
Gentle.
I think, if I'm honest, we've just bitten off way more than we can chew. How is jet lag treating you?
Not good. I've got VWs on the brain.
Come on, have a look.
I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit concerned that that's probably not helping me sleep. You see,
Yeah.
when we were back in the UK, goblinising a VW bus felt like a good idea. And now we're here, they are everywhere.
But what colour are they here?
Pastels, that kind of surfer look, I mean, bright colours, pretty garish things.
Exactly.
What?
Ours needs to be black.
That is a bold move.
Yeah.
But if we're going to do that, right, we've got to get the stance right. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
small wheels at the front, big wheels at the back. Get it a rake stance, because that's just going to add to that aggressiveness that those dark colours are going to give us.
Definitely. If we're going to take it down a drag strip, it's got to have a roll bar,
Absolutely,
race seats.
absolutely. Hippies out, aggressive in.
Absolutely. All right then, what do you think?
Oh, mate, that is looking awesome. That is a wicked start, and that colour, that is going to turn heads.
It's the second day of our American road trip, and this is where the hard work really begins.
Did you sleep?
No. Did you?
Not at all. The one positive thing about jet lag, it's allowed Helen and I to get to the workshop early, and we're ready to get the build on.
Hey,
How's it going, man?
good. How you guys doing?
This is a lovely looking engine.
This beast comes from a 2004 Subaru WRX, but has been uprated from 165 to 250 brake horsepower.
All right, let's do it.
I think something died in here, Hells.
Looks like someone did. You got it?
Yeah. 2 days to do all of the mechanical work on the vehicle. That's ridiculous. I'll tell you the reason why that's ridiculous. It's never just as straightforward as fitting an engine. There is tons of other stuff you're going to have to do. It's going to have to be all plumbed in, electrically and cooling-wise.
Not only that, but as we're upping the power, we need to make sure the suspension, steering and brakes are good enough to handle being raced down a Vegas drag strip.
I'm smelling massive amounts of work to get this thing road ready.
How's that looking?
I mean, it's looking older than me.
The plan is for Jimmy and I to drive a fully working bus 120 miles to the paint shop in LA tomorrow night. So I've made a start on sanding the bus ready for the respray.
We need to save as much time as possible on this build, so if I can just get a little bit ahead on the bodywork, it'll help us when we get to LA.
And while I do that,
There we go.
Jimmy's prepping the engine and bay for the install.
And then there's another sensor here. So the original VW engine was air-cooled. That means it doesn't need a radiator. Now the Subaru engine, that's way higher performance, and that means it needs more high-performance cooling in the name of water. So that means we need to put a radiator somewhere.
Because the engine bay wasn't designed to hold any kind of radiator, we need to be creative.
It's actually a Honda Civic radiator. Flip it on its side and it fits right into the bus.
It's a fit, but it's not ideal.
The thing I'm worried about is the cap, which used to be at the top, is now on the side. That's a dodgy cap, things are gonna leak. I've got to just hope that David is the engine expert we've come to find.
We're on a mission to crack one of the biggest custom car markets in the world and get the Goblin Works garage name out in America. We've bought a 1968 V-Dub-T2 with no engine, and we've just 6 days left to turn it into a drag bus to race and sell at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a mecca for custom builds. We need to be hitting the road to LA in this bus tomorrow night, so fitting the new engine is our main priority.
It's ready, let's put it in.
Oh, yes. Our engine comes from a 2004 Subaru WRX. Now, as standard, that had around 160 horsepower. However, our engine has had bored-out cylinders from 2 litre to 2.5 litre.
Okay, that's in.
And David's also added a turbo.
Well, now we'll throw a level on here and then we'll drill the holes.
That's taken it to around 250 horsepower. It's not far off.
There we go.
Now the engine is level, it's bolted onto the frame. Another good reason for buying a solid shell.
Look at that thing in there.
Yeah, it just looks like it means business, doesn't it?
Oh, that's a good start.
We're a long way off though, dude. Sorry to burst that bubble. We've got to plumb this in, we've got to do suspension, everything else. Like, my brain hurts.
Yeah, I reckon this is going to be a long night.
Yep.
We've made great progress today. We've started on the brakes, the steering, suspension. I've sanded down all the creepy handprints off the car. But there's still a lot to do.
It's day 2. I'm in sunny California. Come on, man, give me a break. Haven't even seen the sun. Does this look like I've seen the sun? Woo, it's tight. This is not a holiday. This is savage. There we go.
Last night we worked until 3 AM, but progress was slow. At this rate, we'll never meet our 7-day deadline, and the whole build will have been for nothing.
Guys, how's that engine looking?
Couple couplings and turbo pipes and wiring to the gauges and we'll be good.
David, have you got any light clusters, wing mirrors?
I've got a couple boxes of spares. I'm pretty sure we can get everything.
Perfect, I'll have a rummage.
Awesome.
3 hours. She's a running bus.
Yeah, let's do it.
My first job of the day, lowering the suspension to give our drag bus a more aggressive rake stance.
Thanks, David. It's got to be road legal so we can actually drive it. So I'm going to fit the lights, the seat belts, the seats, the wing mirrors, everything we need to enable us to drive it safely on the road.
We're nearly finished fitting new brakes and super stiff shock absorbers. But the most important part of the build is way behind schedule.
We still haven't fired up the engine, and in my experience, new engine installs, they don't fire up first time.
Let's give it a go. Let's see if it turns over.
David.
Yes.
We got issues.
I've never heard it backfire that loud in my life.
And that's just the start of our problems.
You got a little leak somewhere?
There's a coolant leak, and I reckon it's coming from one of the caps on the repurposed Honda Civic radiators.
So do you think it's just a bad cap?
I hope so.
Yeah. And it's in a nice, accessible place,
yeah.
obviously.
Nothing looks wrong with this cap. Maybe just the cap wasn't tight.
Is it still leaking?
So that one's fixed. Hang on, we've got another leak. The engine ran for all of 10 seconds, and now it's looking like engine issue monsoon season. What's this? What is?
That's loose.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. Coolant is leaking out of absolutely everywhere. There's oil leaks from the turbo.
Here we go.
It won't throttle up, and it's belching out black smoke. Now it's just a case of checking plugs are connected properly, checking wires aren't broken, pipes haven't come off.
Can't see any more leaks at the minute.
And if that doesn't solve it, we've gone and got ourselves major problems. This engine could be a duffer.
It sucks not being able to go to California, but one of my most important clients wants me to show and race one of the bikes I built for them at a really cool event. So originally this bike started out life as a stock 1100 Scrambler, and Ducati commissioned me to build them a hill climber. In hill climbing, riders race against the clock to complete an uphill course. And despite me coming off the track in my practice run, the real race went well. And the client loved my lightweight, aggressive design.
It's the best looking bike out there, by far.
They were so pleased that they want me to race the bike again for them at the Mallee Mile, which is one of the biggest inappropriate motorcycle races in the UK, and they want me to compete in the hill climb event. The Mallee Mile is all about having fun, but it's always very competitive. And I reckon this bad boy is gonna win me some races. I'll be riding my bike to the race, which means it needs to be road legal. First up, I gotta fit some tires that can handle the dirt. Every style of racing needs a different tire. These are actually street legal on-off-road tires. To get some good grip in the dirt, these are the best tires. After this, I'm gonna put some indicators in it. Job done. These just came from Germany, and these are the coolest indicators on the planet. It's 3-in-1. You got a brake light, tail light, and your indicator. These things are half the size of a pound coin. Can't even tell they're on the bike. I've marked out with tape where I want the indicators to go. 4 up front and 4 in the tail. Put these in, wire them up, and we're off to the races. Now the proof is when I turn the key. We got lights, we got indicators, we need sunglasses because I just blinded myself. That is a wrap.
In San Diego, we're still working on our 250 brake horsepower Subaru engine transplant.
Oh, well.
But after hours of investigation, Jimmy thinks he might have solved the problem.
Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to change these around, and we're going to see how it runs. Okay.
Clear.
When the engine was running, it was backfiring massively, and that's because those wires run the coils that give it ignition spark.
Sounds awesome.
Because they ran the wrong way, 2 cylinders were running incorrectly. Switch them round, and she runs like a dream.
This setback has meant we're 8 hours behind schedule. But now the engine is finally running, I can start turning my mind to the way the VW is going to look when we finally show it off to fans on the drag strip.
We put this engine in and now we can't see it. So why don't we get rid of this? The engine actually gets more air.
It's gone. You got it?
Gone.
That looks $1 million, man.
Finally, after 48 hours of hard slog,
Done.
Done.
2 days ago, I did not think we'd get here.
I think you
2
did.
hours ago, I didn't think we'd quite get here. We've given that bus a really cool stance.
Shall we?
Let's jump in. And the whole thing's come to life now. It never had an engine before, and now we've given it a soul. Driving out of that garage tonight, it was such a great feeling. Really nice to actually feel like we've achieved something. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong, and hopefully we can just kind of enjoy the rest of the build now.
next morning we're all ready to hit the Pacific Highway to Los Angeles, where Ant has set up a paint shop that will give the bus a mean and moody goblin look. But we're not going anywhere.
You got jack stands?
Yeah.
So this morning, something's happened in the engine, and it's not sounding good.
Without any tools to fix it, we've had to call David out to the motel car park.
The problem is now we are running out of time. This is just an absolute freaking nightmare.
That's locked up. Stiff. It could be something gone in the internals, it could be timing, but whatever it is, things are looking bad. You all right, bud?
I need a big flathead, the yellow one.
With the road trip on hold, I call for reinforcements.
Hey! So the van was running and now it's not. It is a nightmare.
So I guess the race spray's obviously out the window. I guess we're gonna need a plan B for next year. And then as soon as I get home, I'm gonna get on the internet. I'll call everybody in LA, see if we can figure something out.
Okay, all right, cool. I am really concerned because at the end of the day, we have to produce a build, a running build, otherwise this whole thing was a complete waste of time and money. Right, fellas, what's occurring?
Timing belt, it's slipped.
Okay.
It ain't running. Inside an engine, there is a whole ton of moving parts, and it's key that they all keep in sync with each other, and what does that is the timing belts. If those things jump, things are going bang.
I think the big question is, can it be fixed?
We can't fix it without the specialist tools.
Well, in that case, David, can you take this back to your workshop and we can crack on?
The trouble is with this engine, it's newly built, and I haven't built it. Fact of the matter is, it's a dead duck right now. I've got to be honest, Hells. This was not the American dream I had in mind.
No.
We've come to America to take a bite out of their world-renowned custom car market by turning a battered old VW camper into a mean and moody drag bus. We've pulled in favours to get a slot on the drag strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But with only 3 days to go, we're still stuck in San Diego, over 300 miles away. If we lose the slot, we lose everything.
Holy cow!
Hey, dude!
She lives?
It's back.
Well done, David.
Hey, thank you. I've been up all night. I'm super tired.
Come on then, what was it?
Let's go check a look. One of those 4 cams, that top right one, completely destroyed itself. We replaced both heads, all new valves, all new cams.
So hang on a minute. You've had the whole engine out, completely rebuilt it, and back in.
Yep.
David has really pulled out all the stops on this one. He has completely rebuilt the top half of that motor.
Engine sorted. We can finally hit the road to LA.
Got no time to waste.
Back in the UK, I am preparing for an important milestone for the business. Ducati have asked me to show off the custom hill climber I built for them by racing it at this exclusive annual event. We're here at the Mali Mile, and this is by far the biggest, baddest, maddest event of the UK calendar. The Mallee Mile is a non-stop celebration of motorcycle culture. It takes place on a private estate. My badass, lightweight custom bike is looking sweet. Now all I gotta do, fuel it up, and I'm ready to race.
First I was a bit gutted about not going to California, but hearing about all their problems, I'm much better off being here.
There's 450 racers and a ton of spectators here today. So this is a great place for me to show off my work.
It's awesome, I love it.
And get people talking about my client, and of course, Goblin Works Garage.
You should be selling these.
Plus, it's also a chance to get another hill climb event under my belt.
The race here today is 2 riders, head-to-head, up a hill, winner takes all. The weather is not ideal here. Everyone's just coming off their bikes and ending up in a pile of mud. The name of the game today is just stay upright and don't wreck the bike.
There are 5 classes in the hill climb race. My bike is in the custom class, which is the last group to go. And I've just spied a very familiar looking competitor, my illustrator Paul Drake, who helped me with the design of this bike.
Good.
Hey!
What do you think?
Yes, it looks great.
Should we go head-to-head or what?
Luckily, I think I'm in a different class, so I won't be.
No. That's a custom bike. This is a custom bike. You're gonna race me.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see you out there.
I'll wait for you at the finish line.
All right.
Last time I rode this bike on tarmac, I came off in the wet. The hill climb race is only 1/8 of a mile long, but I am a little nervous about crashing this extremely valuable bike in these very wet conditions.
It's chucking it down now. It looks muddy as hell, so could get sketchy. Plan is give Ducati their bike back in one piece.
Everything I've done to lighten this bike is great for speed, but having some more weight over the back wheel today would have definitely helped out with traction in this mud. All I can do now is pray I don't crash it and damage the bike, and that I beat Paul and his heavier beast.
And Drake straight off. Now Partridge is eating mud too. Drake is right on his tail. It's a victory for Anthony Partridge on his Goblin Works Garage custom Ducati.
You're covered in...
It was just...
Well, at least you went out in a full blaze of glory.
Next time.
I was so stoked with the way the bike performed. Tons of the photographers would have got some epic pictures, so, you know, it's been a great day for Goblin Works, and it's been an even better day for myself.
There's only 48 hours left until our slot at the Motor Speedway drag strip in Las Vegas. And with the engine now running, we need to quickly give this bus a mean and moody look. With time so short, we need to wrap rather than paint. And Ant's found us a couple of guys who can work to our time frame. But they haven't seen the state of it yet.
Dude, what is that? This thing looks terrible.
Yeah, so this is our van. I can read your faces. It's not looking pretty, is it?
No, it's really rough. I mean, you got paint coming off. I mean, we could probably get all our guys to stop what they're doing. Let's go ahead and start.
Let's get it in, guys.
When you wrap a vehicle, it's basically a giant sticker, heat it up, and put it on the car.
We've gone satin black on the body, gunmetal grey for the roof, and a little red stripe between the two. That's gonna pop.
And just around the corner from the wrap shop, Ant's found a place that he reckons can sort out a set of shoes for the bus.
We're trying to turn an old VW bus into a drag bus.
Okay, so you need racing tires, drag slicks. I got you.
Today, I'm looking for the biggest possible wheels we can fit inside the arches on the rear of the bus, and then we want some really small ones on the front, so it gives it that raked drag stance.
These are the 15 6.5 for the rear.
Okay.
And then we could go skinnier in the front, like a 15 by 5 or...
That would work.
Okay.
And then tyres?
Here are the racing slicks, and here are the front ones.
Do you know what? That is going to give the bus just the most awesome stance. I just need to know the price.
I'll do it for 2,000. How does that sound?
And I'm going to ask that you do it for 1,800.
All right, if we do cash, I could do 1,800 for you.
That's an amazing deal.
Okay.
Thank you so much for helping us.
My pleasure.
Back at the wrap shop, and our bus's Goblin design is really starting to come together. There are over 130 VW parts shops here in Campervan Crazy, California, so Ant, working back home, has been pretty quick sourcing us some extras.
We're going to fit a load of black door furniture and trim pieces. That's going to give this bus some real attitude.
But all that gloss means we've now spent nearly $28,000 of our $30,000 budget. That's nearly £23,000.
What?
I bring presents.
That has got just the attitude we need for our vehicle.
But because they're super soft, we can't drive to Vegas in them because it will just wear them out and they're expensive. So we'll have to switch them when we get there.
It's going to suit really well what's going on in there.
No way is that our bus. I am blown away.
Come on, take it in, take it in.
Finally, something is going right with this build. The wrap looks absolutely amazing. Tomorrow, we'll be on our way to Vegas, and that is the last stop on the road trip. I cannot wait.
The bus really is now starting to look like a Goblin Works garage vehicle, and it's about bloody time.
There's less than 24 hours left until our precious slot comes up at the Motor Speedway drag strip in Las Vegas, and I'm praying Ant has found someone to help us perform an interior makeover in record time.
Yo!
Hey!
How's it going?
Not as good as you with palm trees and blue skies.
It might look pretty, but we're definitely not on holiday.
Anyway, how was Malimar?
Malimar was awesome. Whooped Paul's ass up the hill, covered him in mud. It was great for Goblin Works, and the manufacturers are super stoked about the bike.
Well, that's good. Nice one, Anne. Anyway, back to business.
How's the interior going?
I spoke to a guy named Dino in Las Vegas. He's gonna do the roll cage.
By the time you get there, the seats and the interior
Will all be at his shop.
Yes, we're going!
We're finally on our way!
Route 66 to Vegas.
Look at that view. This is what I'm talking about.
I've always dreamt of cruising this legendary road in a custom vehicle, and it's as awesome as I imagined.
All those gremlins have gone in that engine. It's sounding like that.
Sounds sweet!
If I'm perfectly honest, at times I've felt a little bit like we might not pull this off.
I felt the exact same. The big question is, have we done enough to impress people at the strip? Because in America, they do not do things by halves.
They don't. Honestly, I hope so.
This leg of the trip is just over 250 miles, which means if all goes well, we should hit Vegas in 4 hours' time.
Ooh. We've got a clutch issue. Have you seen where we are?
Shit.
Don't fancy walking out of here.
No, I don't either.
Right now, I'm hoping this is a quick fix to put this thing right.
Be careful.
It's gonna be okay. It's either that, we ain't making Vegas, baby.
Our Goblin drag bus has broken down in the scorching Mojave Desert. 70 miles from our final destination, Las Vegas.
How's?
Yeah?
It's just the clutch cable come a bit loose, I can tighten it. Let's go.
Sorted? Battery?
That's not funny. That...
Yes!
Oh! Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Back on the road means back in business. Ant reckons he's found us a specialist workshop in Vegas to finish the interior. We've already spent our $30,000 budget, so whatever we spend here cuts into our profit margin.
Dino.
Pleasure.
Jimmy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Hels.
Hi, Dino. Nice to meet you. I'm Helen.
Our Canadian colleague, Ant, has he been in contact with you?
They let me know that you need a cage for this thing, so let's get started.
We'll be pushing our bus faster than it was ever designed to go. So we've commissioned a 4-point steel roll cage that bolts to the bus with reinforced plates and is essential for safety on the drag strip. But this custom cage has pushed our spending even higher.
By my last calculation, we have overspent by $4,500.
Here.
So we can't afford any luxuries. Our interior will just be the very basics we need for safety on the drag run.
Seat harnesses.
Seat harnesses.
Carpet, door cards.
But even with scaled back ambitions, there's still an enormous amount to do to finish off the van tonight.
Dino's roll cage is an absolute work of art. The seats are going in, the harnesses are going in, the interior is getting fitted out. Come hell or high water, this drag bus is getting finished.
All set?
That is sweet. Last night, we worked until 3 a.m. on the interior. But now, after 7 days of hard slog, our VW bus is finally finished. We've spent $34,500 turning this beaten-up shell into a two-tone, mean and moody drag beast. With lowered suspension, super sticky racing slicks, and an exposed 250 brake horsepower Subaru engine.
I am really pleased with the way this bus looks. The stance is absolutely epic.
I think we've created a proper Goblin drag bus.
For me, the interior, we didn't quite get it to the level I like to do. It's functional, it's clean, it's just what we need.
In just a few hours' time, I'll be ripping our custom bus down this legendary drag strip. And if it doesn't perform well, our hopes of a sale and a profit are over. To get there, we have to drive down one of the most famous streets in the world, the Las Vegas Strip. The perfect way to introduce the finished bus to America.
Goblins are in town! It was ridiculously ambitious to try and pull off a build like this, but somehow we've got a finished bus. She does make a cracking noise, doesn't she?
Awesome. I cannot believe the looks we're getting. Game plan today, simple. Show the people what this bus can do and then flip it for some money. There you go then, Hells. We made it.
We did.
Vegas drag strip.
The Las Vegas Motor Speedway has seen some of the world's best drag racers hit speeds in excess of 330 miles per hour as they hurtle along its famous 4-lane strip.
You can hear so much noise. There's V8s, there's cars ragging up and down the track, there's aeroplanes whizzing overhead. It is a petrol head's paradise.
Today, hundreds of vehicles are here to prove what they can do on this iconic quarter-mile strip of asphalt. Including drag racing novice, yours truly.
I have full confidence in you, Jimmy DeVille. Go on, mate, do your best.
Goblin Works Garage! There is no chance our bus is going to be setting the top time of the day. What it will do will make some epic noise, show off its style, and cause a little kerfuffle.
We wanted to create a sub-16-second bus, but after all the issues we've had with building this vehicle, it's looking unlikely.
I'd have really loved to have had our engine in front of an engine tuner. The simple fact of the matter is, we ran out of time.
I'm just praying all those gremlins are gone for good and our bus impresses enough to make a sale.
Listen to that engine!
That was intense! I am buzzing!
Under 18 seconds, not bad for a first run, but we need to do better to get a sale.
I'm telling you now, this bus is going faster. Woo-hoo-hoo! Come on, drag bus!
The only slot we can get is the last slot of the day. Our final chance to impress.
Perform for me, drag bus, perform for me.
17.9 seconds to beat.
Yes, 17.5. Well done, Jimmy.
Goblin Works Garage, you went and made a drag bus!
That engine has been fighting us this entire trip. So 17.5 seconds, I'll take that. Well done, mate.
You know what, if we had had the time to tune it, I have no doubts this is a sub-16 bus. Let's get it sold and get back to the UK.
Despite it being the end of the day, some avid VW fans have stuck around for us. This is a very good sign.
Hey, man.
Hey, how are you?
Jimmy.
Chris.
This is
Hi,
Helen.
Chris. I'm
Hey,
Helen.
Helen.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
are you
meet
doing?
you. Doing good.
So, this is our drag bus. Do you see it run?
I sure did.
What do you
It was
think?
awesome.
Want to take a look inside?
I sure do.
It's got a top-end roll bar in it. It's got an expensive engine install. We're not messing around on this. It's got quality. Would you be interested in making us an offer on this bus?
100%. 30 grand?
We need to be closer to the $40,000 mark.
Want to meet somewhere in the middle, maybe?
I need to meet somewhere just slightly above the middle.
37?
37. I'm not gonna mess around.
Thank you, sir.
See, I didn't say much, but I gave the nod.
Yes. We didn't make a massive profit with this bus, but we still made $2,500.
I am so proud because this was no mean feat, and I think we nailed it.
Welcome to our midday program. Let me tell you, folks, we got a show for you. Speaking of Jimmy DeVille, Anthony Partridge, Helen Stanley from the Goblin Works Garage.
Back in the UK a few weeks later, news of our transatlantic business venture has spread across America, and a big New York radio station wants to hear more.
I heard some buzz about a Volkswagen bus that you guys turned into a monster.
We wanted to take something that people thought they knew a lot about and goblinize it.
This trip was all about showing the United States what we have to offer.
I'm going to say we've got a rival across the pond when it comes to custom vehicles.
This trip was a $30,000 gamble to get the Goblin name out in the States, and it paid off.
When they came home, I was like, you guys smashed it.
Not only did we make a profit, but our 7-day custom drag build has helped us start to take the business into a brand new era.